When you're working inside Perfect Photo Suite 9, you have something called the On1 Extras category. You'll find it here on the left-hand side inside Perfect Layers, underneath the Extras tab. Now what the On1 Extras are backgrounds, borders, and textures that are included in the suite when you get it. Textures can be used here inside Layers as well as inside Perfect Effects. Borders can be used inside Layers, Effects, and Black and White, and backgrounds can just be accessed here inside Perfect Layers. You can open up any of these categories. Let's say we wanted to add a new background. I'll open up the Background section. There are a couple of different subcategories here, so maybe I want to take my subject out of the studio and place him in, let's say, some sort of other inside environment. I'll open up the Inside category, and these are all of the different backgrounds that you can utilize. Now, what's even better than the On1 Extras is the fact that you can either use ours or you can use your own. There's something right up at the top called the My Extras category. These are backgrounds, borders, and textures that you can include inside the suite, and you can access them in all of the different places that I just listed. So if you include a texture inside your extras, you can access that in Perfect Effects and in Perfect Layers. If you have a border that you really love and you want to bring it into Perfect Black and White, you can do that. So you have a ton of different options, which is really nice. Now, to include your own extras, go up to the File menu when you've got Perfect Layers open and scroll down to Manage Extras. This Extras Manager here allows you to import not just backgrounds, borders, and textures, but also presets all in the same place. So this is a really good time to include any of those really cool Perfect Effects presets you might have downloaded from our website. Or if you've got a couple of Perfect Black and White presets from a friend and you want to import them, this would be a great time to do so. Now, when you select any of these categories, let's go ahead and import some borders. I can select that, and then on the bottom left-hand corner, click the Import button. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now I need to select the borders that I want to import. So I'm going to scroll down to the Textures and Borders folder that I have. Go ahead and open up the Personal Borders folder. And then I'm going to open up the halftone frames. These are some of my favorites. Now, when it comes to borders, one of the most important things is that these files are PNGs, and what that means is it gives me the ability to access a transparent background so that the border is only applied to the border of your image. If they don't end up as PNG files, a lot of times you won't end up with an authentic border. You'll have a lot of problems creating transparency in the center of the border itself. So do make sure you pay attention to the file types when you're importing borders. The other two different categories, backgrounds and textures, you have a lot more leeway, but with borders you need to be very specific. Now I'm going to choose all of these here, because I want to import each one. Go down to the bottom right-hand corner and click Open. Now, I already have a category of borders that I've created. It's called Honeycomb, and these are some of my favorite borders ever to use. I want to create a new category instead of including them in the one that already exists. So when I click on Add Category at the top, it actually pulls from the folder name that those border files were in. And that's one of my favorite little helpful things that happens inside the Extras Manager. These are called halftone frames. It created a category called halftone frames for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. I'm going to make sure it says halftone frames in the Choose Category box. Click OK one more time. It's going to process these files for me really quickly. And then it'll let me know if there were any errors. So if you included the wrong file type, if something was too big or too small to be included by accident, it will let you know. I'm going to go ahead and click Close one more time. And these are all of the different frames that we just imported. Now if I open up another category, so let's go ahead and open up backgrounds. You'll see I have 3 different background categories. There's bokeh, grunge, and then just plain Liz's backgrounds. If you select a category, so let's go ahead and choose grunge backgrounds. There are 4 included in this category. If I know that there's another grunge background I want to include, I can select that category, go down to the bottom left-hand corner and click Import. Let's go ahead and choose a different grungy background here. So I know I want to include Grunge 2 as one of my new grunge backgrounds. I'll go ahead and select it, click Open, and it will automatically choose that grunge background category that I had selected. We'll go ahead and click OK. It's going to put it in that folder, and now I have 5 different backgrounds. You can also delete a background if you don't like it. So inside the grunge backgrounds, there are 2 different paint textures, and I don't really like paint texture 2. It's not my favorite. So I'm just going to click it, go down to the bottom, and click the delete button. And it will ask if I want to delete that item. We'll go ahead and click OK, and it's gone. So it's really, really easy to add and subtract different extras that you want to have access to here inside the Extras Manager. Now, when you are done and you click Close, you'll be able to find all of those on the left-hand side in your Extras section. If I open up, for instance, my Textures category, there are my bokeh and my natural textures. If I open up my backgrounds, you'll see there's my bokeh, grunge, and then there are my Liz's backgrounds, and so on. Now, if you're inside a program like Perfect Effects or Perfect Black and White, and you want to include an extra while you're working in there, you can do that. Let me jump over to Perfect Effects and show you where to access this same information. So inside the program, if you go up to the top of your screen to the Preset drop-down menu, you can import a preset here. So if I know that I have a really cool Perfect Effects preset I want to include, I can do that. Or you can go down and choose Manage Extras. And this exact same menu is also inside Perfect Black and White. We'll go ahead and select that option, and it's the exact same Extras Manager dialog box that we saw inside Perfect Layers. Now do remember that in Perfect Effects, you only have access to borders and textures. You don't have access to backgrounds. So if you include a background inside the Extras Manager while you're in Perfect Effects, you won't have access to it. But if I do want to have access to my own custom textures categories, I can. Once you're done inside this Extras Manager, just click Close. You'll be able to access those items inside the texturizer or the border filters.